Video game. Terraria. As you can see, it is a side-scrolling kind of game. I have a house built here. Some different workbenches, basically, for crafting different things. Like this is an anvil for making weapons, a workbench for basic crafting, and a furnace for smelting things, and some other things here. And I have my chests on the bottom floor, or it's more like a basement really, because this is kind of below ground a bit. And yeah, I have my items, like this is the chest inventory down here in brown, and up in the top left in this, all this blue area, this is all my character inventory. So you'll see the character inventory is always the same, and the chests, as I open up different chests, that will change. So those are my chests, and then this is an NPC. All these guys walking around here, these are NPCs. So you have the merchant here, he's who you go to if you want to buy some basic things like torches, healing potions, even wooden arrows, and rope. Rope's pretty useful if you're going down into the caves. It's always good to have some rope, especially at first. This is my sword, used to defend myself against the monsters of the game. Got my pickaxe. My hotbar is at the top left there, so you can see in yellow what's selected. There'll be a little bit of text that shows up when I switch to each thing. So I got my pickaxe to do my mining. I can even break my house. Unlike Minecraft, you can use a pickaxe on wood, but when you're just chopping down a tree, you can use your axe. That does make it work a lot better. More like Minecraft, but once you've placed the wood plank in this game, you just use a pickaxe for all your placed blocks, pretty much. So that's a little bit different. I'll just rebuild the floor there that I broke. Yeah, you need a complete house for the NPCs to move in. If you're like missing walls or something, they won't move in. Because yeah, they need a safe and well-lit place to live. There, that's how you take care of your NPCs. I think I have some stuff growing down here. Let's see. Yeah, I have some herbs growing. I think I can harvest that when it's pretty obvious when things are ready to be harvested, usually. I got some seeds from it, so I just replanted. These are all little clay pots I've made. And this herb is called Daybloom. Use those to make, I think it's a potion that increases my defense stat, which is basically, it reduces the amount of damage I'm taking. So, if this were Minecraft, it would be like wearing better armor, gives you higher defense, you know, like in Minecraft you have like that little thing at the bottom of the screen that shows you like how much armor your how good your armor is. And so that defense stat down at the bottom, it's kind of covered up a little bit on the bottom right. Mine's 8 currently, and I'm getting it from my armor. I'm wearing tin armor, full set of tin armor, and I'm also I think I might you sometimes get defense from your accessories. So Terraria has a lot of these things called accessories on the right. So these top 3 slots on the right here are your armor, and then every slot below that, those top 3, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, are accessories. So like here, these Hermes boots lets me run a lot faster than like normal. So like, if I try running here, you'll see I start off kind of slow, but I speed way up as I keep going. But if I took those boots off, I put them in the vanity slot so they don't do anything anymore. You can see I'm running at a much slower pace. So yeah, that's accessories in Terraria can have quite a big effect, and you usually just find them in chests and things. Some of them, maybe you can make them, I think. Maybe a few of them, I can't remember. Mostly it's from finding them in chests, I believe. So yeah, that's the accessory system, the armor system. I don't know if I mentioned it, but you have money in this game. So it's gold, silver, and copper is your lowest valued money. And I use that to buy things from the NPCs. Like earlier, I'm trying to find the merchant. Yeah, this merchant guy, I can buy stuff from him. You can see, like, this mining helmet provides light when worn. Its price is 3 gold and 56 silver. So that's something that I can buy with the money I've earned from killing monsters and selling things as well. Sometimes, like, if I look at some of the stuff in my inventory, like this little red squirrel, I can sell it for 22 silver, but really that's all 4, that's a stack of 4. So if I sold a single squirrel, I'd only get 5 silver and 61 copper, so I might do that. I'll select it, and just put it down here into the cell, and you'll see that my money went up by about 5 silver. So that's something you can do. You can buy things from the NPCs, you can sell things to them, and I think some things you can't get anywhere else except from an NPC. Like this little bench here, it's kind of multicolored. You got some red, green, and blue. This is like a dye, something to do with the dyeing system where you can dye your armor different colors. But I had to buy that from an NPC. I think he's like, if I open my map and zoom out, he's like off over here. Yeah, the dye trader. I bought that from him for like 5 gold, I think. And some people use it to dye their armor colors. I personally haven't been doing that too much lately. Might do it later, but I actually use it to, so I have my crafting menu open here. I've been using it to make my own dye. And when I do that, like I'm using this yellow marigold, and I'm using it to make 2 yellow dye. So now I have 4 yellow dye, and certain things like that you can actually sell for more money than just the unprocessed material would have sold for. So like the marigold, I think by itself would have only sold for like 22 silver, but each marigold gives me 2 yellow dye, so I can sell that for around 44 silver. So yeah, you're value adding by crafting. Unfortunately, that isn't always the case. It's only certain items that you experience such a doubling basically of the value for what you're selling. But yeah, there are certain items. Sometimes the value actually goes down when you make things, and I try to avoid, it doesn't make sense to, you spend maybe some materials, like maybe some, in this game, instead of coal, we use gel and wood to make torches. If I spent those 2 materials, let's see, where's that in the crafting menu? If I made some torches here with some gel and wood, and then they sold for less, that wouldn't be a good deal. I try to avoid trying to make currency in this game that way. Luckily though, for torches specifically, that's not the case. That's actually one of the better deals. I believe you get a profit from doing that. And even a better profit, actually, might be tiki torches. Yeah, there it is. I believe it only takes 1 torch and 3 wood, but this tiki torch, just place it down so you can see. This tiki torch, I believe it sells for quite a bit more. Yeah, it sells for 1 silver as opposed to 11 copper. So that's like, what, 10 times? Around 10 times the value of the, cause like you have 100 silver coins in every copper you have 100 copper coins in every silver coin, and 100 silver coins in every gold coin. And so this is 1 silver versus 11 copper for the single torch. So that's like a 10 times return in your value, as long as you have enough gel. Unfortunately, you can't buy gel from the NPCs. That would be kind of a nice exploit if you could. You have to kill these slime enemies that are usually wandering around the surface in the daytime. But yeah, there's certain little things like that you can do if you're desperate for getting money in the game. I don't often do that one specifically because it's like 10 times. It feels kind of I don't know, maybe a little cheap. But if you really needed to, you certainly can do that. I personally like selling the dye, because the items to make the dye are actually a little rare. Like, they spawn on the surface, but you don't see them all the time. It's like maybe once every 300-400 blocks, so it's not like I'm making heaps of money. I mean, it is profitable, but I don't know, to me it just feels a bit more like I'm working for the money, you know? But yeah, so that's one thing I do. I like selling the dye that and then craft it. I craft the dye, this dye vat bench here. And sell the dye, and then what else do I do? I think there's a cooking pot here. Yeah, that's what this little metal thing is. I'll see if I can find how to make that. I think it was like 10 iron, or sometimes you can make it out of lead as well. Yeah, it was lead bars for this one, but Terraria has this system. Yeah, I'm gonna explain it. Terraria has this system where whenever you generate a world, you'll randomly get either like iron or lead. Like every tier of material, you know, like you have a tier system. Like in this game, the lowest is like copper, and then iron, and then silver, and then gold. I think is the best of like the normal kind of materials that you're mining, which is kind of weird, but that's how Terraria works. Gold is maybe going on for a bit of a tangent here, but yeah, gold is like one of the better, at the start of the game at least, things you can mine. So yeah, you can have alternate ores when you first make the world. So that's the normal arrangement would be like the copper, the iron, the silver, and the gold. So those are the normal 4 that you'll have. But if you have the alternate versions, you'll have tin instead of copper, and then lead instead of iron, and tungsten, I think, instead of, what's that called? Instead of silver. And then the gold, the equivalent, it's the same, it's functionally the same, really, or very similar, would be, the gold equivalent would be platinum. So anyway, you have that going on. So that's why I say, when talking about this cooking pot, you can make it with iron or with lead, and the reason is, yeah, because they're basically, in Terraria terms, they're basically the same material, even though in real life they're very much not the same. But for Terraria purposes, that's how it is. So anyway, getting back to what I was saying about this cooking pot. So this is one of the other Terraria money-making processes that I enjoy doing, is I like cooking animals. That sounds kind of bad, but so like, look, so this got this owl right here. I have a bug net, which is an item I bought from this NPC, the merchant, for 22 silver, and once I've bought that, which I've already done, then I can swing it around and pick up this owl. So I've picked up the owl now. He's just... Yes, I picked up an owl. I have 2 owls, apparently. So I have the owl, and, I can place him down if I want. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But, I placed down both owls. I'll pick them back. Oh, that guy's bad. I'm gonna run from him. I picked one of the owls back up anyway, and, okay, so I got the owl, and now I can put him in the... I can put the owl in the cooking pot, and he shows up as a roasted bird. Serving size 1 child, apparently. So, I'll craft that, and normally the owl will only be worth 10 silver, but now that I've cooked him, he is worth 22 silver. So that's another example of value adding by changing your base material, either by cooking or extracting dye from a flower, like with the dye vat, which is that bench right next to it. That's value adding your material and making a profit that you would otherwise not be able to make. So yeah, that's something I do a lot. I go around with my bug net, I'm catching animals, cooking them, then selling them. I'm also picking up the dye, flowers, and just other things you use to make dye, and making dye with those, selling that. And yeah, that's just an example of crafting things with materials, and yeah, making more money that way. Also, these stars fall from the sky sometimes, those are kind of useful. Just picked up a squirrel there with my bug net. This is how you chop down a tree. Just got my copper axe here. Picked up some acorn, picked up some wood, placed down a sapling because we want to replant our trees. Wood is an important resource for building and all kinds of simple things, so you want to always make sure you're not running out of wood, not deforesting the planet and all that. There's a zombie. That guy is really quite dangerous to me right now, so I'm trying to avoid him. I think I have a bow around here, yeah. I have a bow that I made out of palm wood. So, when you have your inventory, like if you notice, whenever I open my inventory, the game is pausing. That's an option that I have selected. I believe it's called auto pause. But anyway, I have my bow here, and as you would expect, you cannot fire your bow unless you have ammo. So it does 6 ranged damage, and it fires arrows. So here you have, on the right of your inventory screen, you have your coins, that's my money, and my ammo. So I have wooden arrows and flaming arrows. The flaming arrows do 7 range damage, and one thing that little info screen doesn't mention is that it has a chance of setting the enemy on fire. So that'll be a damage over time effect. So that's much better than the base wooden arrow, which would only do 5 range damage, and doesn't have the chance to do that effect. At least I'm pretty sure it doesn't. So we have a zombie here, he's walking towards me, and I'm gonna shoot him with my arrows. You can see he's on fire, he's taking damage. You can see his health and numbers there, he's got 45 health out of 135. And we're taking it down. So we can keep firing, or we can let the fire do its work. And yeah, the fire doesn't last forever, but you know, it's better than nothing. Oh, there's another zombie. So I have these little tunnels that go underground for when I want to kind of avoid enemies, which does happen sometimes. And yeah, luckily in this game, I feel like in Minecraft zombies might be able to open doors, but in this game, usually they can't do that. So that's why I have this door here, I can just close it. If I don't want to have to deal with the zombie, I'll do that. I'll close the door. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they can't open doors in this game unless there's like some kind of event going on, like if the moon turns red, which happens every so often. I don't know, maybe every 10 to 20 like day-night cycles of the game. Not sure exactly how that's determined, but it happens. The moon turns red, and then that's what's called a blood moon. And then all your enemies can, as long as they're on the ground, they got hands or something, they can open your door, and that can get a bit annoying. But otherwise, yeah, zombies can't open doors unless there's some special event going on. So, hide behind this door here. He can knock, but he cannot come inside. Using my trusty lead broadsword. So, some of these herbs, you can see these are actually different ones to the day bloom I was harvesting earlier in the day. Since it's nighttime in the game right now, a different kind of herb is ready to harvest. So some of them are tuned very much to the time of day. So I'm replanting the seeds. These are called Moonglow, aptly named, since you can only get seeds from them if you harvest it when the moon is out, or, you know, at night, basically. Anytime at night, you can harvest them. And yeah, you can see again, it's pretty obvious which ones can be harvested and which ones cannot. Because all the yellow day bloom ones, they've technically ready to be harvested, like they're fully grown, but it's the wrong time of day, so I can't, or I can't get any profit from trying to harvest them now. But oh, and there you saw, the moon glows, the night just ended. The moon glows can't be harvested for seeds anymore, but now the day bloom can. So I'll get some seeds from that day bloom. So yeah, that's a basic, some you harvest during the day, some you harvest at night, and it's, you know, it's a system that is certainly something that you can look into. All the different herbs have different criteria, like one of them I think is right before nightfall. One of them you can only harvest when it's raining. There's all kinds of things like that in this game for when it comes to growing your herbs. So I have a lot of day bloom. I don't this is probably more than I'll ever need, but I don't know. I just would like to have something growing right down here. I'll probably replace these day bloom with something else when I find the seeds for it. I just haven't yet. This is a fairly new world I've made, so I don't have all the seeds yet, but eventually I'll have the things that I can't remember the name of those seeds. There's a seed that blooms in the rain. It's something like pretty simple, like water leaf or Something's like that. I just can't remember it. Oh, there's a little grasshopper. I caught the grasshopper. He's in my pocket. Grasshopper. I got a grasshopper in my pocket, a bunny, some squirrels. Yeah, Terraria is a fun game. So I'll try to get out of my herb farm here. What else is there? What else is there to Terraria? There's a lot of things, but maybe we'll just leave it at that for now. Yeah, Terraria.